Christmas Day wasn't such a great Christmas for a lot of people around the world. Well, in Gombe State, over 22 people were injured on Wednesday when a vehicle rammed into a Christmas procession along Bauchi Road in Tamfure. The Gombe State police spokesperson said the incident occurred around 2 p.m. when a car loaded with rice veered off the road and struck the crowd. The driver, whose identity remains unknown, fled the scene as a mob set the vehicle on fire. This was a really sad incident again. Thank God, there were no deaths recorded at this point, 22 people injured, but during Christmas, this is not the sort of thing that you want to hear. Not at all. Well, also in Anambra State, the police have confirmed the abduction of Justice Azuka, a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly. He was kidnapped on Tuesday night in Onitsha while returning home. Meanwhile, a video showing the moment after family members traveling in 3 different vehicles to their hometown were kidnapped has made the rounds on social media. Let's take a look.
Moto ndị kidnap n'ozi so kita ka ha na-eme na vulu ha bụ ọfịa. Moto ndị kidnap n'ozi isu. Afọ akwa security ndị so sọnsụ udo ka nwa na ofu ndị agụlele ka a na-afọ ebe a. Onwe onye isu na onwe onye other security na ebe a. Ya moto ndị kidnap kita n'ozi isu. Na analo ha Christmas moto ita anụ. Onwe security afọ sọnsụ udo ka nwa udo ka na ofu onye agụlele. Abịakwa na-akwụfuchi ụgwọ today bụ 25 akwụsị ike ifta na-alụ ọrụ ajọsụ nnọọ hafụ ụzọ ya moto ite kidnapụrụ ndị na n'ime na nwaanyị a na-evolu die ya hafụ ya maka na hafụ dị ụma.
My heart goes out to this family. They were going home to, you saw their food, everything there. The police must buckle up in Anambra State, especially. Like the person who was filming said, there were no security officials on the road. On Christmas Day, they should have beefed up security at that moment. Let me take this tweet from a 99% oppressed who wrote, even on Christmas Day, of all days, they still come out to kidnap. How can you kidnap an entire family just because of ransom? Husband, wife, little children, house help, and extended family members going peacefully to their village. This kidnapping thing needs to stop in the southeast, most especially Anambra State. 90% of the kidnappers are local Igbo boys who see kidnapping as means of making quick money. This is such a sad situation again, speaks to the economic hardship people are facing in Nigeria. You go out, you kidnap just because of quick money. Well, in another development, reactions have trailed the killing of over 10 civilians in Silame local government area of Sokoto State by military fighter jets said to be targeting the Lakorora terrorist group. Amnesty International has called for a thorough investigation. Let's take their tweet. They wrote, the Nigerian authorities must conduct a thorough, independent and impartial investigation of the military airstrike that killed at least 10 people at 2 communities in Silame local government area of Sokoto State. The President Bola Tinubu's government must promptly set up an independent inquiry into Silame local government area villages airstrike, and where these investigations indicate criminal responsibility, ensure that those suspected to be responsible are brought to justice in fair trials. The Nigerian military has consistently failed to thoroughly, independently, impartially, transparently and effectively investigate these incidents that have become a vicious cycle for villagers constantly living with the fear of the next attack. Victims and their families must be provided with access to justice and effective remedies. This was the main point, really. We need that investigation. It's not the first time that we're hearing. 10 people, needless death. It didn't need to happen. And that, statement from the military saying they were targeting the terrorist group. They were not terrorists, they were civilians. What happened there?
So in 2023, Human Rights Watch had noted in Nasarawa State and in Kaduna State, it had friendly fire from the military Air Force to Nigerians living in communities. I recall that we talked about this at length. And the reason why we call for independent, impartial investigations like Amnesty International has done is to avoid these occurrences from happening again. That's why we call for it. But what they said, the military's response is that they identified through intelligence reports that there were terrorists in Lakurawa local government area in Sokoto State. And based on that information, decided to attack on Christmas morning, yesterday, about around 7 a.m. But what the villagers on ground have said, including some community leaders, is that there were peaceful people there. And the military made a mistake, made an error, and bombed innocent people, killing 10 people. So it's one story versus the other. And when this happens, the best way to get to the bottom of it or to get the truth is to conduct an investigation. If indeed the Air Force is culpable, we're not saying that, they are evil, they are bad. We've praised the efforts of the military a number of times here on this show. It is that let us have an investigation so that we understand what the real issues are. This kind of bombings, 3 incidents in the space of 1 year or less than 18 months, it doesn't make sense. So that's what we're calling for. I stand by the tweet by the by Amnesty International.
Yes.
I mentioned that earlier today. Let an investigation be conducted rather than just a knee-jerk reaction to the first response, which is denial by the military.
Right. You wanted to say something?
Okay, I want to say something, and that's why what the president said that day was very bad. You see, when I was mentioning that thing that day, a lot of people say fighting Yahweh is mad, it's this and that. I know what I'm saying. In a country where the president just comes, I'm not saying don't praise the military. Nigerian army, a round of applause for you, the great work you do at keeping this country together. But when the president sweepingly absolves the military of anything and says there's no need for a probe, it's an assault. As I did when I was saying it, I was even just talking about the Okwama case.
Yeah.
But this case now crept up. Please, President Smith said we're going to probe the military. I think they should be probed on this matter.
Right.
Because in the end, what always happens is that, Oji, and I'm saying this based on the RAN incident and also the incident that happened recently, nobody's probed. You just come with this stupid visits of sorry to the victims, and nothing happens in the end. We can't continue to live our country this way.
All right.
Okay, I'll just give a small footnote. I commented on this earlier when the story came up. The first thing is that, look, we're dealing with asymmetrical warfare, very unconventional. And in this kind of situation, there is likely to have this kind of mistakes. It has happened before, it has happened now, it's likely to happen again. The responsibility of the armed forces is to make sure that they recognize the nature of the warfare. They've been talking about technology. In other places, they need to deploy the necessary technology to make sure that this level of collateral damage does not occur.
Absolutely.
Now, they say, you know, about the Lakurawa, there's also a peculiarity about the Lakurawa. They're already embedded in these communities. So, and you also find some of these communities accommodating them in a classical case of the Stockholm syndrome that we have seen in Nigeria, either in the plateau or also now in Sokoto state. So when these people are embedded in the community, they set up their own individual taxation system. Now the military finds itself in a very difficult place to sift the wheat from the chaff and operate, you know, under the international conventions that says persons who are not involved in combat, civilian population should be protected.
Absolutely.
These are the lines.
Right.
So these difficulties, you know, are part of the difficulties of the operation.
Absolutely. I mean, but the military should ensure that they sift out those terrorists so that we don't have these needless deaths. May their souls rest in peace. Well,
Now, wow, this is what our country has become. This is what is going on in our country. The issue of kidnappers, Boko Haram, terrorists from everywhere, from the east, north, everywhere. This is what our country has become. Okombo, it's Christmas that people supposed to be happy, joy, rejoicing, celebrating. It will turn to a Black Friday, Black Christmas to a lot of people. It will turn to a lot of Black Christmas for everybody. Come, this one, when I say again, I don't understand. How would you kidnap full family? Not one person. Who is going to bring the money for you guys? You should call friends. How would you kidnap full family on Christmas? These people now wicked. Oh, this is wickedness. Wickedness. Kidnapping full family going on Christmas. And now, see, I think this one now. This one where offend you wa na or time or not you daily where Arameri wa. Now rat when they inside. Now they tell the other one for us. I say, come, something they inside. Because if that one not know, the one when they outside, if he come inside, you don't know where that thing they. You don't understand. This kidnap now, where they say full family just kidnap, make them investigate, make police do thorough investigation. People when you know this family, definitely not then. When they even tell them say that they come home for Christmas, now then go plan this this kidnap. Now then. That's why if you they travel on Christmas or anywhere you go, you know they tell people exact time, exact date when you they travel. Yes, you must surely tell people. You get somewhere you fit and say you they come home. You know they tell them the time. Now only your parents, if not your parents, you won't go see. Or get some people when you fit tell the exactly date when you they come. But some of them, you know they tell them. Very important. You know they tell them the exactly time. But say you know, see that they come. Because this one now, for them to get mad, go wait for full family, kidnap them for now people when you know, when you don't tell. If not just randomly, people when you don't know, definitely now people when you know you now they kidnap you. They can't know say you the plan, you won't travel, they go wait for you for road. You don't understand. It's so painful. See, full family, kidnapper, no. And again, you see how many die for that one for the north? They call it a mistake. Last year it happened in Tinubu's government. This is what is happening. Now, this one happened, now mistake, military, they call it mistake. mistakenly, it happens. Last year, the same thing. A lot of people talk about that one at length that time. They say it will not happen again. Now I bet you it will happen again. That's my problem. If things happen, we know sometimes yet there are some things mistakenly can happen, but what happened after you discover that it was a mistake, something that needed to, something you should have done, you should have done it like this, you should have done better, you should have done this, you should have done that. You ended up, you neglected that, you didn't do it. It happens, it turns out a tragic mistake. Next time, you know what to do. Then you try avoid it not to happen again. In this country, we don't learn lesson. That's the problem. We don't learn lesson. We'll wait, it will happen again. It will happen again. We are always reacting to issues. We are not proactive. We are always reacting to issues like the police. Now we come, the military, we come, they set up another body to investigate what happened. At the end of this investigation, you will not see anything. You see nothing. They will say the promise will not happen again. That's my problem. Especially this stampede now that happened. How many states now? Killing many lives now. You will watch it again. New Year, they are around the corner. People will say share this thing. New Year, you watch now. The year itself, people, you will see this thing. Not say, your place should not happen again. But I'm just saying, we don't learn lesson. We don't have management. We don't have a crowd control management. We don't have it. Yes. I just play, it should not happen again, as they always say. But this is not what we should be saying in our country. Our country is supposed to don't pass this one. Every time, stories like this, one problem or the other. Anyways, what do you think? Please share this video.